owner of Island Dreams Surf Shop. As a pro, he was ranked 8th in the United States, and 12th in the world. Denny's interested in starting a clinic this summer that would teach youngsters about skateboard safety, how to fall, how to use the right equipment, and generally what to do on their board. It's a pleasure to welcome to 411 today, Denny Riordon. Welcome to the show. Okay, what kind of skating do you do? You said before that you didn't skate on a half pipe like we see a lot of guys doing and jumping way up in the air. What kind of skating do you do?
I basically do freestyle and street style. Freestyle is with a smaller board and you don't use any obstacles at all. You just do it on flat ground. It's like an ice skating routine down to music. And then street style is where you use smaller ramps, not the big half pipe. And you do the same thing, but you're basically doing things off of ramps. You're using them as your obstacles.
So what made you want to get into skateboarding? Did you surf before? I know a lot of people surf and then during the winter they skateboard because their waves aren't...
The land version.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I skated before I surfed because I was inland from the ocean, 3 hours. So I picked up skating, and then after I got pretty good at that and I moved down to the beach, surfing came real easy. So they kind of go hand in hand.
Would you say the skateboard allows you to express yourself in like different ways, like in certain moves? Like if you're going like up a ramp and it's like you have like a lot of energy in you and you really want to, show how happy you are. But then sometimes like when you do like a 360 turn or something like that, it's like your mind isn't,
Right. Well, everybody has their own really unique style in skateboarding. That's one thing. You don't see too many people doing the same. They might be doing the same trick, but they all have their own style, which is kind of nice. Everybody's trying to do something a little different, and just because of the body position or what they're doing, they can make the trick look different, and it's basically the same thing. So everybody can express themselves pretty much, how they like.
I've always heard the term of skate rat, but you usually think of them like, long hair or long bangs and baggy clothes, and they're always with their skateboards skating around.
Surf Nazis,
Is there a certain, you don't look like a skate rat to what I know what a skate rat is.
Right. Well, in the last couple of years, that image is pretty much fading away. The reason
it's a less trendy kind of thing.
Right, definitely. It's carried that image basically because the public sees the kids that hang out on the corners are actually, they're just punks, but they use the skateboards as transportation. And they're not actually the ones that are out competing, that are into it as a sport.
Yeah.
They use the board as transportation, and that's who you see, and that's why they got the surf punk, skate punk, and everything.
Well, what inspired you to getting really into skateboarding?
When I was in high school, it just was real popular in the early 70s, and I just liked the way it felt, and I started doing it a little bit here and there, and I was sort of conflicting with lacrosse, and eventually skating won over. But.
What's skateboard competition like?
It's real nerve-wracking. Just like any competition, you get real nervous, and you always have to put in a lot of time practicing, and it's just really tough. Contests are, something that we like to do, but we don't like it when we're doing it. That kind of thing.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we'll have more of Denny Riordon and some skate tricks. We'll be back when 411 rolls on. Don't go away. Our champ, Denny Riordon.
Denny, I noticed that you have your equipment with you. Exactly, what is the purpose for each different, the gloves?
What are they for?
Well, basically, your most important for most of the kids is the knee pads, because you tend to fall on your knees, and with this plastic cap, you can slide. So basically, kids have learned to fall on their knees on purpose when they have these on, so they can slide. That helps a lot. You also have elbow pads, and they have a plastic cap too, and that way they don't slide off when you fall. A real important thing is wrist braces. Everybody seems to think that with skateboarding, it's ankle injuries. The biggest injury is wrist, because you tend to reach out when you fall.
Yeah, you told us a morbid story about how you broke your wrist.
And what a lot of parents like are the helmets. The helmets are real important, especially on the big ramps and things like that. You really need to have the helmet, and a lot of kids wear gloves too. Gloves seem to be real popular when it's colder out. They're fingerless, so you can still grab the board and do things.
Along with the wrist things?
Sometimes they wear both, but usually they'll wear just one or the other.
Yeah.
The wrist brace is also so your hands are free, so you can grab the board. But The safety equipment is really important. I would say the knee pads and the wrist braces for the kids that are just riding around in the street are probably the most important.
Okay. Now you have a board with your own name on it, and it's got your name on it. How'd you get a board or a company to endorse you with your name on the board?
Well, after competing in a lot of contests and doing well, the company approached me just like they approach other amateur skaters. And ask you if you want to turn pro, and when you turn pro, you usually do get a pro model. They put your name on it, you get royalties from it, and you ride for that company exclusively.
You said you turn pro. How do you just turn, when you decide, you pick, well, I guess I'll be professional? Or
well, you usually want to have a real good amateur career first, stay in amateur ranks for a while. For me it is, and for a lot of skaters and a lot of the young kids are looking at it as a career now. It's really become a really good sport now this time around.
All right, well, let's see you do your stuff. Can you do some tricks for us?
Sure.
All right.
You have to put your equipment on, or no?
For what I'm going to do, which is freestyle, I won't really need any pads on. Just on the flat ground, it's not too bad.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, ready. What's that called?
This is called spacewalk, and these are called smoothies. This is called walk the dog.
You have to have perfect timing in order to do something like that, right?
Yeah, you got to stay pretty centered over the board. Oops, let's try that one again.
Is this the type of stuff you would be competing? This is what you would be doing?
Yeah, you'd have a much bigger area.
And when they score you on the quality of it or how well you perform it?
Well, it's a tough floor to skate on. It's real smooth.
Smooth.
What's that called?
Well, it's just up on the rail, and I'm going to try and flip it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you did it. Good. The underneath side has all these pictures and everything. Why doesn't the top?
The top has grip tape, and that's what keeps your feet on the board.
Instead of glue, my original.
Right, glue. Look at that.
It's amazing. How long does it take you to learn this stuff?
Freestyle takes quite a while because the timing's so important.
All right.
So you got to practice quite a bit.
All right, Denny, I'd like to thank you for being on the show. Come up here so I can shake your hand. And thanks a lot for coming on 411.
Thank you.
And you were really good. I can't believe how you did that stuff. Okay, our next guest will come back and watch his tumblers tumble. They're from Rebounders Gymnastics Center. We'll be back in a minute.